So I think you are day whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm out here doing it. Fuck. What a year. What a fucking year. It's Christmas Day today. So happy holidays to everybody. I'm out here again doing what I usually do to start my day off right. Go out, take the dogs exercising. We just did a biking session. Try to burn out some extra energy. Now we're going for just a nice walk out into the woods. I keep thinking like, how can I maintain this kind of lifestyle if, at least for the goals that I have going into the future, they might involve me moving up to Berkeley. They might involve me doing my MFA out in Austin. Like, I'm not gonna have access to trails like this, just like literally less than 5 minutes away from my house. I can literally just get up and go. And I think one of the biggest things in trying to do anything new or in doing anything that's challenging is overcoming resistance, whether that's inertia of the mind or whether that's a physical distance kind of resistance, right? You want to eliminate as many obstacles as you can, so that way the path of least resistance is you trying to get up early to go exercise, trying to eat healthy, eliminate all the junk food that you have in your house. It's a little bit easier if you only have healthy foods there, just stuff like that. So I think about what my life is going to look like in the next couple of years, and I'm kind of saddened because I don't think, unless somehow I blow up and I get the kind of money where I can just buy a piece of land like this near where I'm going to school, I'm just not gonna have access to this anymore. So again, I might be up here for at least another year. So really, this is just me appreciating what I have here, me just taking in everything that I have here, because I might not have access to trails or nature like this into the coming future. And I'll be honest, that's going to be kind of hard for me to have to part with, because I've been so spoiled that throughout this entire time we've been up here is the consistent thing that I always have is like, I can always get out, go out into nature. I can go run out here, I can go exercise out here, I can be connected to all this. So yeah, that's been a lot on my mind. My baby mom was doing good. We've had a great past week. My family's visiting my other half of the family out in Virginia. I'm gonna take this trail today. I'm gonna go up in the sun. So there's a lot of exciting things, a lot of things to be excited about in the coming year. Also, again, just thinking about change, thinking about what my life is going to look like in the next coming years, especially with a kid. What I'm going to have to give up to make sure I provide the best, so I can be the best parent for this kid. Definitely want a kid to bring out here into nature. That's something I'm very excited to share. I was actually talking to her about this, like what's the top three things that you're really excited to share with our baby. And I told her what I'm really excited about is I get to share my love of motorcycles. So if I can get the kid, as soon as they're of riding age, get them out on these dirt trails, dirt bikes, learning how to ride from a young age, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about going on hiking and camping adventures with them, because we both realized we didn't really have that growing up. We wish we did. We wish we would have been introduced to nature, to the woods, to camping, to backpacking when we were younger, just so we can develop a greater appreciation for everything And two, it's just so much fun when you're out here doing it with family and friends. It's cool doing it on your own. For example, if it was just me out here on my own, not my dog, it'd still be cool, but hey, it's not the same. It's not the same as you got someone to share this with. So we talked about that. She said food because she's a really good chef, and her grandma was a huge influence on her and gave her an appreciation for food. I mean, she's definitely up, not just my cooking skills, but my experience of food, how I process food, how I taste food, the different textures in food, different flavors, how they combine together to create this experience of this food, of that food. Because one of the coolest things that she showed me is Taiwanese breakfast, and that's where they take a bunch of leftovers from the night before, some porridge rice, put it all together, eat it. Scallion pancakes, oh fuck, so good. So we're excited about that this kid is gonna have such a variety of foods, of food experiences, sharing our passions. So the third one was, again, motorcycle. Stop. Food, motorcycle, camping, and adventures. And then poetry, writing. I want to be able to share with our kid my love of poetry and of presenting the poems, of actually bringing those poems out of that blank page into their voice and out into the world, so other people can hear it, other people can appreciate it. And just sharing the beautiful people that we've come to know, that we've yet to know. There's a lot of things I have to be thankful for this year, for Christmas. Don't know if people celebrate it, but I never did growing up. That's another thing we also talked about, is creating traditions, creating holidays, creating our own. Stop. No. He's pulling. Creating our own family holidays. Things that we as a family look forward to every single month, every week. We already have a bunch of ideas. Granted, a lot of these ideas we probably won't explore until the kid is older, the kid can talk, kid's a little more independent. But it's exciting to think about. It's exciting to think about. It's exciting to think about the kind of life this kid is gonna have. I know it's gonna be challenges. I'm not too worried about that. Can't ever worry too much about that, right? The best that we can do is just try to learn as much as we can. Ask for help and guidance when necessary. Just don't give up. Keep trying. Keep trying to do our best. Keep trying to be supportive of each other. And not just supportive of each other, but also be supportive of ourselves. Because I think honestly, if your relationship with yourself is not straight, it's not 100%, everything else is going to suffer. So again, I'm grateful for that. Grateful that we have a chance to be able to do that. Just to have these kinds of conversations. It's not the kind of stuff that I had with my family. Hey, come here. Come here. So it's exciting. And again, thinking into these woods, thinking about how life is going to change, how different it's going to be for me when I'm no longer here, at least until now, until I start getting books published and start making more money. That'd be nice, but to be able to just have access to this, everything out here, everything you see, like, I'm gonna miss that. I'm definitely gonna miss it. I gotta appreciate every little bit that I have out here, taking as much as I can. And speaking of that, there was this documentary we saw yesterday titled The Poetess, and it's about Hissa Hilal. And she is a poet that appeared on this reality TV show called Millions Poets, and it's held in, I think it's the United Emirates, and poets from all across the Middle East compete in this contest of Nabudi poetry. And essentially what Nabudi poetry is, it's like it's Bedouin poetry. And what do I mean by Bedouin poetry? So a lot of the Arab and Middle Eastern countries installations that you see now actually were probably started by desert nomads, because desert's a harsh fucking environment. So if you find a way to live and survive out there, and you can do it, you do it. If you don't, you just keep traveling. It's a super intense environment to try to live in. So essentially Bedouins, which is what Remia, but this is her like alter ego, her persona. She couldn't really publish under her own name because of how the laws are out there, how strict it is. Bedouin poetry is essentially the poetry of this desert lifestyle, of these desert nomads, of these people who lived off the land with their camels, traveling, just trying to survive. And she actually spoke a little bit about her childhood growing up and how she's witnessed the change of Saudi Arabia and just some of these Middle Eastern countries, how they used to be less rigid in their religion. Women didn't have to wear face coverings. Women were allowed to go out, run businesses, do their own thing. And it wasn't until this specific event, I'm probably gonna butcher the name, it's called Yuhaimal, I think this is the guy's name. This was a terrorist act basically on the mosque in Mecca. And after this basically cult leader stormed the mosque, killed hundreds of people, wounded hundreds more, the government gave more authority, more power to the religious scholars at that time. And that's slowly but surely what started constricting the rights for women, constricting the various forms of entertainment, against the westernization of Saudi Arabia. So she talked a little bit about what her desert lifestyle was like, and how she lived, and how she saw it transform, how she saw it mutate to this thing that was just like incredibly oppressive and extremist. And that's the kind of poetry that she presented on this contest. Now you can imagine the audacity and the bravery and the courage this woman has, because she knows what she's saying is gonna open her up for attacks. She knows that it's not gonna be looked too favorably upon. But luckily she has the support of her family, her friends, her relatives, a lot of them male. She presented these poems that kind of make critiques at this kind of lifestyle. And it wasn't against Saudi Arabia, it was just against the ideology of extremism. And towards the end of the documentary, I don't want to spoil it, I'll put a link to it down below. It's a really good documentary. It's kind of slow, but I enjoy context for why someone does the things that they do. So hearing her tell it through her words, watching her live her life and talk about how she used to live, like her her bravery makes sense. Her courage makes sense. Because now she's watching her daughters have to go through a life that she knows is artificial. She knows it's made. She knows that culturally this is completely man-made. So towards the end of the documentary, she said some super inspiring shit. She was thinking about how, reflecting about her journey through the contest, through her infamy, through her fame, and how more women are getting into poetry. The Nabati style of poetry is old Bedouin style of poetry, which was all oral. No one ever wrote anything down. Is making a comeback. People are paying homage to the ancestors again, which is something I've talked about, and not just their ancestors, but the poetry of the ancestors, the culture of their ancestors, paying homage to that, knowing that's where they came from. She says how crazy it is to think that poetry bought her house. And she stops, she talks a little bit more, and she says, isn't this crazy to think about, that I live in a life where I've been able to buy a home for my daughters, for my family, and I did it through poetry. Yo, when she said that, I was just like, yes, that's exactly the kind of shit we need to hear. That here's, because not only was her themes very political, and again, people were putting out fucking death threats on her, trying to make threats against her life. Like, that's not something to be taken lightly. Yeah, she still did it, and she did it with a husband who supported her, but never once did she mention her husband when it came to buying that house through her poetry. She said, I did it with my poetry. What's more beautiful than that? Because she grew up on poetry. She loves poetry. This is like her passion, her livelihood. And even in the environment that she's in, even in that constrictive, rigid culture that's been created, here's a woman who says, no, fuck that. This is what I'm about. She's able to make money and buy a fucking house for her family. That's fucking amazing. Super, super inspiring. So I bring it up because it just makes me think the opportunities that we have here in the United States. The US isn't perfect. No such thing as perfection. It doesn't exist. It's not real. And I think about the opportunities I have here. I mean, just being able to wake up and do this, man. Like, look at this. Look how quiet it is. I can do this. It's just always inspiring to hear on the other side of the globe. There's another poet out there who's had challenges I probably can't even fathom. Yet she stood up with a smile on her face and was like, this is my voice. This is what I'm gonna present to y'all. This is what I want to share because this is important to me. And she even threw some shade in the contest against other poets who talk about themselves and like unimportant things, and just that made me laugh. It made me laugh because it showed me what kind of courage and intelligence this woman has to carry that torch of her ancestors, to carry that torch of those poetry upbringings, of that desert lifestyle, and present it in her own way. Present it in her own way where she's able to build a life for her kids. I mean, what's more inspiring than that, right? not only life for her own daughters, but to inspire other women to do the same. And not just women, men too. She got me inspired. You find inspiration everywhere. She inspired me. She's, again, this awesome documentary. This isn't a desert lifestyle, but this is a very minimal lifestyle that I live out here. It's just me, dogs, my baby mama, and the woods, and I love it. I've always wanted to do and live something like this, and I want to be able to do it again. But I know for the next couple of years, at least the next 5 years, my lifestyle is going to be probably a little bit different. I'm going to be back in the city. Be back in the city, back with all the traffic, the anonymity of the city. You don't really know people. You always see strangers everywhere you go. So will have its own challenges, but I'm hoping that all these lessons that I've learned out here, everything that Mother Nature has showed me out here, I don't lose it. I don't lose touch of it. I got a little slice of nature with me everywhere I go. He's right here. Right, Finn? Right here. All right, come on, let's go. I got him right here, but it's so quiet. Hey, so quiet out here. That's why I love coming out here. It's just gotta reconnect with nature. We gotta reconnect with nature. We gotta come out here. We gotta listen, pay attention. Yeah, so these next 5 years, we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping to have access to nature like this. I'm hoping I have to drive an hour and a half in traffic just to be able to hit some trails. And then once I do hit those trails, it's just covered with people. Dogs are shitting all over the place. They're loud, they're yelling. But hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Not here at 22 minutes is already long enough. I've already ranted. Most of you probably heard just me heavy breathing because all this is uphill. We're finally going downhill now. But it's Christmas Day, whatever. Create traditions. If you don't have any, start creating them. If your family didn't do this or didn't do that growing up, and you witnessed other people and loved how they did things, start it up. Because our family never really shared gifts or never really celebrated Christmas. Just not something that we ever did. So I'm excited that for the past 2 years we've been doing this. We've been buying gifts for everyone and trying to share them. Just trying to find and create reasons to celebrate. Right? That's really what we need. Some people don't need any reason to celebrate. And those are the kind of people that we always love, because no matter what it is, they're always in a festive mood. And why shouldn't you? Look at all this. Even if you have no access to nature, the fact that you're alive, that you're breathing, that there's so many possibilities and lifestyles and ways you can live your life. And all you gotta do is type into a Google search. Don't use fucking Google. DuckDuckGo, internet search bar. And I say don't use Google, and YouTube owns Google. Just being able to look up information. We live in a time now where you can look up information. And you can pretty much find information on anything. The only problem is finding out which information is actually valuable and then which one is not. So we have the ability to find alternate ways of being, find alternate lifestyles, learn about how maybe the things that we're doing now impact future generations. And we can do it just by looking something up, because there's so many people out there that have figured out a bunch of beautiful things and they're sharing it online. They're sharing it because they understand the importance of what those gifts mean, not just to them, but to be able to spread it and propagate it to other people. Maybe this is what this is. This is me just sharing, yo, if you're not happy in your life, if you're not where you think, where you want to be or where you like to be, hey, that's part of the process. One of the biggest things you can do is accept where you're at right now. Hey, my Finn, is accept where you're at right now. And then if there are certain things, certain lifestyle things that you think are going to make you happy, go for it. Go for it. But be smart about it. Don't just wish and hope that it's just going to happen. You gotta put in work. If you look at life all around you, life doesn't just create life. Life puts in work. Life goes through trials and tribulations. These fucking trees, these trees go through drought. These trees go through times of intense rainfall. These trees go through snow. These trees go through seasons. And it's through these seasons that they rejuvenate, that they grow, that they rest, they recuperate, they spread, they help each other out. Why would we be any different? Why would human beings, just because we can talk and have opposable thumbs and can create all sorts of cool technology, just because of that, we think we're separate or different from nature and how nature evolves? No, evolution's ongoing. Evolution doesn't stop. Evolution is the only constant, which means change is the only constant. Anything that stays still and stagnates dies. Look at swamps. There's still life out there, sure, but the life that's there is moving. It's not staying still. It's going. It's going. So, again, just sharing a little bit of what I'm grateful for this year for the holidays. Celebrating, creating new traditions. That's what I'll probably title this, is just creating new traditions. And that includes not just holidays, that includes just lifestyle changes. What are you unhappy about? What are you sad about? What is it that you feel is imperfect or wrong or just the source of your suffering? You can identify it and find out what that is. Most times you find out it's not really what the thing it is. Maybe it is. Maybe you're stuck in an abusive relationship. Maybe you're poor right now. You don't have any fucking money. And you're struggling just to pay your bills and get food on your table. Yeah, that's a real concern. Do you have family? Do you have friends? Someone you can ask to for just for a little bit of help? I was broke. Fucking owed money. Yeah. I know what that broke struggle is like, man. Working multiple jobs. I was dying slowly. Didn't even fucking eat. I was just trying to make as much money as I can. And then I realized, man, trading my time for money is not it. It's not it. You're going to kill yourself over it. So you can start doing that, save some money up, and then figure out, hey, there's other ways to make money out there. What are they? How can I leverage the skills, the talents, the abilities that I have into something where I don't have to clock in for someone else, where someone else is making $100 off my labor and I'm only get paid 15, you know? There's ways out there. Create something. What do you like to make? What do you like to bake? Can you sew? Can you draw? Can you write? Do you love movies? Are you good at analyzing and reviewing movies? Share that kind of information. Everyone has gifts, everyone has talents, and everyone has natural abilities that, again, keep trying, keep putting in that work. People are going to want to pay for your expertise. They're going to want to pay for your knowledge. They're going to want to pay for your ability, for your gifts. People think, oh, it's evil. No, man, you need money in this world. You're unfortunately stuck in a world where one of the huge constraints on it is money. So if you had enough money to sustain yourself for you and your family, what would you be doing? Where you didn't have to worry about your bills. You didn't have to worry about your house payment. You didn't have to worry about rent. You didn't have to worry about your car, insurance, medical. If all that was taken care of, what would you be doing with your life? How would you live it? Would you be getting up early to go exercise? Would you be swimming at the lake? Would you be dancing in your room by yourself? Like, what would you be doing? That's what's important. That's where you start creating all these new traditions. That's where you start creating the lifestyle that you want. Because mine's right here. Again, I'm simple. I'm super simple. This is all I need. I'm happy. I'm super happy, super grateful. So thank y'all. I'm almost getting back to the house. Just grateful and appreciative. I'm alive. We're alive. Baby mama's doing good. My baby's good. My dogs are good. My family's good. It's been a tough year, but grateful. Very grateful. Thank you.